morning, Steve. Oh, sorry.
I'm starting my timer because we don't want to get carried away. Can you hear me? Okay.
Okay. Well, good morning, guys. Thank you for allowing us to be here. I do want to apologize first and foremost because I think at Mass last week they said the Lemoines were going to be here, and I heard that they're a rock-solid Catholic family with a bunch of kids, so unfortunately they couldn't make it. So the Lemoines are going to be here this morning, and we just want to go over with you guys basically how we've come to where we're at in our faith journey, and then just kind of review some of the fun things, really cool things that my wife does with our kids throughout Lent. Sound good?
Okay. Thanks for coming, y'all. Bear with us because we were late. We're always late everywhere we go, which drives our daughters crazy. But we didn't forget. We didn't forget to set back or bring forward our clocks. But it's hard to get out of the house. But we made it. And it would have been good for reality TV if they just saw us this morning. So
that's part of the graces of coming to Mass, right, Father? Trying to get all the kids in the car?
I hope so.
Anybody can. No doubt.
So anyways, we were just going to give you a little bit of a background of the things that we do and where we've come from to celebrating Lent, because it is one of our favorite times of the year. And a long time ago, well, we've been married for 18 years, and I know, we're too young.
18 years?
Yeah, 18. And we were in our early 20s. Neither one of us, I was raised Catholic, sort of. Todd was not really raised with much faith. He was still a Christian. He believed in God, but and I knew I was a Catholic, but I didn't know why or anything. But you know how it happens when you have a baby, things change. And our first daughter was born, and suddenly my eyes were open to eternity, and I was very concerned about her precious soul, and wanted nothing more than for her to be able to go to heaven. So I was kind of ripe for hearing the Holy Spirit at that point, once she was born. And not too long after Sarah was born, a friend of mine was killed in a car accident. And it was very tragic. She was a young mom. She had 3 little ones. And she was on her way to work and got killed in a car accident. And I went to the funeral. And as I said, we still weren't practicing the faith or anything like that. But Sarah was born by then, so I was open to listening to the Holy Spirit. And I went to this funeral, and it was a Pentecostal preacher speaking. And, I was raised Catholic, so we didn't hear a whole lot of that. And he was screaming. He was
speaking
screaming.
in tongues.
No, there wasn't any speaking in
There
tongues. No, not that day. But anyway, he kept saying over and over, really loudly, "Are you ready? Are you ready? It could be you tomorrow. Are you ready?" And I just remember getting chills and thinking, I wanted to say, "No, I'm not ready. I'm nowhere near ready." And it was just a wake-up call, because your life can be taken from you
Quickly.
just at the drop of the hat, and you have to always be ready. And so that started, I guess, a snowball reaction of learning and reading and studying of our faith, my faith at the time. And I fell in love with the Catholic faith. I could not stop talking about it. I probably ran off some friends. I just was so in love with Christ and his church. And I was driving this man crazy. But I think that the Holy Spirit was slowly working on him as well.
It apparently worked. Look at me now.
That's it. Go ahead.
Oh, my turn. Okay. So mine is really, it's not that exciting, okay? So I think I became Catholic, went through RCI program in like 2003, I think around then. And I think it had a lot to do with her rubbing off on me, talking about her faith. And I mean, it just was like a switch. She hit this thing, and that's all she talked about. I call her my little theologian. So anytime I have a question about her faith or something, I mean, she's like master level theology over here. It's amazing the things that she knows. So I went through the RCIA program, and something inside of me just said, it's time to do this. And maybe it's our children, and maybe it's her. But really, and this may sound kind of weird, I don't know, but I had a dream one night. I'm laying in bed, and it wasn't really a dream. I don't really remember it or anything, but I distinctly remember like laying on my pillow sleeping, and I felt like a voice, like the heat of the breath in my ear, saying that your faith is true. And maybe it was.
I'm just kidding.
Oh well, now I don't know if I believe as much anymore. So really, I mean, and I just like woke up. I'm like, whoa, what was that? You know? And ever since then, I mean, it's game on, right? I haven't had any real issues with, some of the issues that people have with our faith, Mary and confession and all that stuff. I mean, I'm just like head over heels in love with my Catholic faith. And there's nothing that anybody could say could ever change that, I mean, whatever happens in this world, nothing is going to waver my love for the Eucharist and for our faith, because it's such a rich and fabulous faith. And we should be all very proud of this faith and share it with everybody we know. I mean, stand up and just scream it. I'm Catholic and I'm proud, right? So also what really I think ignited my fire for our faith is during that time, and I'm pretty basic, humble guy. I don't have any big, conversion kind of like she did. But the movie, y'all remember the movie The Passion that came out with Mel Gibson, right? I mean, that was a fantastic movie, right? And so, I mean, we see the pictures of the crucifix and all that stuff. And for me, I guess, growing up, the pictures, it was just kind of like pictures and like storybook kind of stuff. But that movie really, really hit home. I'm like, wow. I mean, he did that for me. I mean, he went through the torment and the anguish and the pain and the agony. And that was real. I mean, that was like, to me, I was like, wow, that is real, And so after seeing that movie, and I guess Paige whispering in my ear that she tells me now up here on stage after all these years, that just set me on fire. And we've been growing in our faith ever since. Every day, it's a journey. I mean, right? It's a very deep and rich faith. So it's always a constant journey of learning and growing and coming across things that happen every day. So with that, I guess that movie, The Passion, really helped me. And then coming into the Lent, one of the reasons we really love the Lenten season as a family, she'll get into the really cool things that she does, which I really like. But it's not a time that's not commercialized, right? So it's not Christmas. It's not all the secular stuff. So nobody really knows about we all know, of course, about the Lenten season, but it's not like on TV and you don't go to the grocery store to get, all your Lenten treats, right? So, really, it's as soon as one holiday is over in the grocery store, they got the next one up, right? I think the day after Christmas, they had Valentine's Day stuff in there. So I love it as a time where we can, do our small little tasks that we do during Lent to kind of share our faith and evangelize our closest family and friends with us. Fasting I try to fast completely on Fridays, but not eating meat on Fridays. If we get together with some friends, we're like, oh, let's go to Longhorns and have some drinks and eat some steaks, and we're like, well, we'll just get some veggie fajitas or something, So being able to share that and explain that with them, and then like Ash Wednesday, that's a fantastic time to share our faith. We get up early and we go to church and we come to work, and they're like, you got something on your head, man. You got dirt on your head. What have you been doing? Working in your car? So that's a great time to explain our faith, right? And then the Holy Week, the Triduum, Holy Thursday, Holy Friday, every day is holy, right? So, like my parents, they're not Catholic. Most of our family, we're like the oddballs of the family. We got the big van. We're the van members. Yes, any van members out here? Woo! All right, yep. We know who we are. So we got the big 15-passenger van. My family is not Catholic. So they're like, well, y'all come over for Easter, and we're originally from Louisiana, so they like to do like crawfish bowls and stuff, and we got to do Holy Thursday and all that stuff, and it's a good time for us. I think working on them is probably, I don't know, it's still a task working on them, but at least we're able to share what we do as a family throughout this season. So, like I was saying, be proud of it, and be happy to explain your faith to people, and get after it. Get after it. It's fantastic. Is that?
I was going to say something about Lent at our home, and why I think he plays such an important role. I mean, I'm going to talk to you about some little activities that we do with the children, but the way that he acts during Lent, it sets the tone for the family. And so I know in this day, all the moms, here today, we like to kind of run the show and take control of the situation. And sometimes it's best if we just kind of step back and let our husbands show how much they love Christ, instead of us moms trying to, I don't want to say force it down their throat, but always being the one to bring it up. Let's say some prayers together. Let's do this. When they see Dad do it, when he talks about how serious he is about what Jesus did for him, how grateful he is, how sorry he is for his sins, on his knees in front of our children, especially our two boys. They're 4 and 6, and he's their hero.
Probably
so I know, if you see him, could you keep them from getting in the road? But watching their dad and how much Jesus' sacrifice meant to him sets the tone for the rest of the family. And so I would encourage dads, if you're not already, which you probably are, you're here, step up, be the one to show them. And I kind of have to help him along with some things, teachings or whatever, a little bit. But he's there, and he's, if we're going to do something like, we would pray the Divine Mercy Chaplet. We used to try to sing it. And this is another comical
don't say this.
Reality TV. He would have to sing his version, and it's always a joke and everything. But he was still praying the Divine Mercy Chaplet with us. It was still, he was always involved.
We'd sing Come Emmanuel. Wasn't that what it was?
Yeah, that too.
Oh, my other song.
Yeah, he likes to be the goofball. However, okay, he likes to be the goofball, but at the same time, they know that this is serious for Dad too, and that's what makes a huge difference. Did you want to add anything else? I was going to talk about this.
No, yeah. I think that's good. It's a great time. It's not a commercialized time, and I think that's just one of the reasons that we really enjoy it, because it is a time where we can share our faith and explain it more to people. He did it for us. He did it for you. He did it for me. And it's awesome.
As I was saying earlier, I was raised Catholic, but really I was probably more in the line of what you might have heard called a creaster. We went for Christmas and Easter, but we did also go for ashes, so I don't know how you can incorporate that, because we always had to go for ashes, and of course palms. We love to go for ashes and palms and Christmas and Easter. That's the way I was raised anyway. And God bless my mom. She did the best she could with what she had at the time. We've got the internet and all these things at our disposal. But so anyways, I was when I started coming back into the church, really that's all I knew was creaster. I was a creaster, Christmas and Easter. And so when I started to learn about Lent, I went through RCIA because I had not been confirmed yet. And so I've lost my train of thought.
Creaster?
I went through RCIA to be confirmed, and it was during Lent, and I suddenly had my eyes open to what Lent was all about, and that we were supposed to give something up for Lent. And I guess if any of y'all are familiar with learning about the temperaments or anything, I'm a melancholic temperament for sure. And so I was so drawn to meditating on the sorrowful mysteries of the Rosary. And still today, I'll bother the kids because I want to play some Gregorian chant, or I love to cry at sad commercials and things. So that's just part of my temperament. So Lent was easy for me to really fall in love with, because I was able to feel this sorrow for my sins and what Christ did for me. And so during all this, as I was learning more about my faith, I wanted to be able to share it with my little ones. And I guess at the time, we might have had our second daughter. So we just had Sarah and Katie. And I wanted to do little things to make what Jesus did for us real for them, not just something that we heard at Mass, because we were going to Mass regularly and all that. But so some activities that we have done over the years. And I want to give you a disclaimer. I don't do all of this. At one time, we just kind of pick and see what happens, because
we try to do some.
Right.
Try.
And
a lot
it's
of
kind of
times
funny.
we fail miserably, but
we still
really
get
cool.
up and try.
They're really cool.
And I would suggest or encourage you to maybe pick one or two things that you could do if you're even interested in doing these things, and try to make the best of it as much as you can, instead of trying to do too much, because I've done that too. So usually what we've done over the years, and have done this pretty much every year, and I read this online, none of this is my idea, I'm not super crafty, is the crown of thorns. And we take these are ingredients that you would have in your cabinet. We take flour and salt and water and roll it up and make a crown out of it and put toothpicks in it for the thorns. And so the children, when they would do little small sacrifices, will take a thorn out. And they love it. And sometimes it can almost be an occasion of sin, because they're all like, I did this for so-and-so, and I did this, and, no more in secret. But
it can be used as weapons as well.
And then next to the crown is a Lenten folder that I came up with, because, as I said, I kind of go overboard with the things that I want us to do. And so I wanted to have it all out right in front of me, so I wouldn't forget that we were giving this up for Lent, or going to do this or that. And so you can't really see it, but it has listed the different activities that I wanted us to do, and it has, usually we try to memorize a prayer, or we've been trying to do this. My kids, I chose the Memorare this year, and they whipped it out. They already know it, so I'm working on that one.
She's the organized one.
This is this Lenten prayer here. The one I have posted up there is one of my favorite prayers also, and I haven't ever, maybe we should memorize that one for all of us this year. And then, let's see, the Lenten calendar. Make sure I stay in line. That's something else that we do. Sometimes it's good, sometimes we don't look at it for a week. But it's a good way to count down, because 40 days is a really long time for little kids. And I would put on there little things that we can do during each day. Like maybe today we're going to write a letter to Grandma. Or another day might be gather up all of your toys, not broken toys, and so we can donate them. Some of the toys that you want to give away, or clothes that aren't rags that we can give away. These are good things to do during Lent. And then the Stations of the Cross votives.
This is fun.
This is probably my favorite thing that we've done, and I've got it online. It's not me, and you can even Google if you're interested. There's all kinds of ways to do this. But basically, those are little votive candles, and I just took a glue stick and glued on each station, so there's 14 candles. And then we have a little ring there that has the stations, and the kids can go through it. It's easy to read and easy to understand for children.
It takes us a little bit longer to go through this.
Yeah.
Got to have a disclaimer here.
We have to tweak it. We're not able to sing the Stabat Mater and the.
Well, no, we don't do all that, but it
best.
usually ends up between the 2-year-old and the 6-year-old arguing who's going to blow out the candle. So it takes a minute to get through each station, right? So. Yeah, absolutely.
Then they'll blow them all out.
Right.
But we started off with all of them being lit, and then as you do each station, they take turns to go out and blow out the first station candle, then the next one, all the way down to the last one, which is when they put Jesus in the tomb. And usually we're doing this at night in the living room, and it's darker. And so when they blow out that last candle, when Jesus is in the tomb, it's dark. And it can be really powerful for them to understand what he went through for us, going through the stations. I love it here, but it doesn't work. You guys are at Mass or at the stations, and you want some quiet. You're trying to reflect, and our kids are running around. So we try to do the stations at home.
It's a little more
that's what we've done.
Disruptive, but potential fire hazard as well, so be careful.
Then
okay.
Holy Thursday.
This is cool.
Through all that? Oh, one thing before I tell you about that is something else that we do or have done. We don't do it every year. We do the Haiti jar, of course, for almsgiving, raising money to be able to donate to those in need in Haiti. The pretzels, something else that we do that's very simple. Your kids love this stuff, is making pretzels. and you give them away to your neighbors, and that's another way to evangelize and tell your neighbors about Lent.
And put a little prayer on them, and she and the kids will go make prayers, and they'll just go knock on the neighbor's door and give them a pretzel.
Make bags.
Bags them.
On Holy Thursday, I'm sure you've probably heard of people who have these Seder meals, right, during Lent. And I've tweaked it because I can't cook lamb and all that. So what we do is we take a tablecloth and put it down on the living room floor, and I have candles, and I'll get grape juice, and I'll let them have like a little chalice, and we'll get pita bread for the unleavened bread.
The neighbors like this one too. The kids, like their friends will come over, and they'll do they'll put the garb on their heads like they're, Jewish people back in the day.
That's for the resurrection.
Oh, that's the resurrection?
Yeah.
Okay,
This is
bad.
different. Okay, so we go through one of the kids will read from the scriptures, what goes on Holy Thursday, the Last Supper.
So they have a Passover meal, basically.
Sort of. It's not really.
Our version.
Sort of.
Our version.
Okay, on Good Friday, we did this one year. I can't wait to do this again. Is I made just basically, this is like the kind you open in the can and you twist it, roll bread. Because I'm not a baker either, but I can do this. We twisted it up, bake it, stick the pretzels in there, and it looks like a crown. And so we ate it with our dinner on Good Friday, which was probably something like soup. Okay, that's something fun. Here's the resurrection rolls.
I told you. Right there.
So that
I knew it was in there somewhere.
Holy Thursday, Good Friday. Here we have, this is Holy Saturday. We have a tradition of dyeing our Easter eggs on Saturday before Easter. And we'll do the resurrection eggs. If you've ever seen those, you can buy them at Lifeway. And in each egg, there's something, you go along with. Basically, it's like the stations. But I've kind of made it Catholic, my own version. But they do their eggs, and then we do the resurrection rolls. And this is when we invite our next door neighbors and people to come over, and they act it out, and they love this. I mean, this is just kind of over the years changed and evolved. But the resurrection rolls are where they take the marshmallow, which is Jesus, because he's pure and holy and white, and you dip it in the butter, which is the oil, and then roll it in the spices, which is the cinnamon and sugar. And then you wrap it up with a crescent roll, which is the shroud, and then you put him in the oven, I know that sounds bad, which is the tomb. And then when you open it up, after you've cooked it, the marshmallow's melted and it's gone, and it's like a little empty tomb. And they love this, and so they like to act it out, and they'll get old sheets and pretend like they're the women who go and find the tomb empty and all that.
Right.
So. And then, of course, on Easter Sunday, we will have, as our centerpiece, our crown, which we transform either into a king's crown, and you can wrap it up and put jewels on it, or we put grass in it. And
the Lenten crown, the ones that we had the toothpicks in, the weapon type one. Yeah, at the end of it, when hopefully all the toothpicks are gone, then it's really cool. They'll take it and they'll just decorate it and make it look like a crown, which is awesome.
Or a nest.
Place to put our Easter eggs.
And sometimes, I'll be honest, we've broken off a few at the last minute, just real quick. So anyway, these are just a few of the things that we do. We're a work in progress. Please don't assume that, I can't do all that or this, or get some idea. We're just regular parents that we struggle along. It was hard to get here, as I said. But bear with us at Mass when our kids are running around. Catch them if they're running off, please. And I'm being serious. So anyway, I guess is that it?
I think you got the website. We got some, I think the next slide.
Oh, yeah. This is most important, because these are the websites that you can use if you want to do any of these things. As I said, I get it all online. And Catholic Icing is one, Catholic Inspired. And the Shower of Roses blog spot is a blog by this amazing woman, and she does Lenten teas. And it's really fun. We've kind of done some of that stuff too, but I didn't have any pictures of it. But where they have dinner and they kind of tell the story, and there's certain little foods they use. And it's so fun, and the kids love it. And so anyways, those are 3 websites if you're interested to get some of these ideas from and make it your own.
Guys, thank you for listening to us talk this morning. We hope we've helped out in any possible way. We're all blessed to be Catholic. Enjoy it and have a fantastic Lent.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much.